Hello, Soul Fam. Christine here, founder of the Quantum Ascension Temple and Quantum Ascension School of Mastery. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for finding me. I'm so glad you're here. Otherwise, if this isn't your first time joining me, then thank you for coming back. Today, I just really wanted to offer a quick video on overcoming resistance to developing and nurturing your connection to your own inner guidance and divine support team. Now, I know it can feel like something that's so out of reach or something that's limited to special people, but we all have these abilities embedded within our subconscious, higher consciousness, and DNA. So it's often just a matter of rediscovering, activating, and tuning in to build that connection. More often than not, what blocks these abilities are subconscious beliefs that have been taught to you by society. Perhaps even your loved ones have directly or inadvertently seeded these beliefs. Please know that it's okay. You're definitely not alone. But I invite you to take a moment to think about it like this. How are you meant to nurture your intuition if you don't actually believe that you have it or that it's real? How are you meant to receive from something or someone that you can't physically see when you don't believe in imagination as a possibility? How are you meant to tap into that galactic knowledge stored in your higher consciousness and DNA when you can't possibly fathom intelligent life beyond human beings? How are you meant to step into new Earth quantum consciousness 5D and beyond when deep within you don't actually believe in multidimensionality? Let me emphasize here that there's nothing wrong with you. The majority of our society imprints these blocks and limiting beliefs on us from the moment we're born Earthside. For example, do you ever remember being told as a child that your imaginary friends can't possibly be real, and that those seemingly profound things that children say must be made up? Not to mention the lesson that so many of us learned, especially those of previous generations, that money is difficult to obtain and must be worked really hard for, and the list goes on and on. When beautiful souls come to work with me on soul mastery and personal ascension, these are often things we need to address and recalibrate. Because no matter how much you want something consciously, if there's a subconscious loop in play that goes against that, that's what defaults into your reality. Now, that's not to say you can't change your subconscious loops. That's the whole premise of self-development, soul mastery, and personal ascension. It just takes openness and commitment to yourself to change these ingrained, deep-seated beliefs. So let's address the questions I posed earlier, one by one. The first one was, how are you meant to nurture your intuition if you don't actually believe that you have it or that it's real? I invite you to reflect on moments throughout your life when you may have unknowingly surprised yourself with intuition. Perhaps the phone rang and someone's name popped into your mind and it turned out to be them. Perhaps you had a gut feeling that something bad was going to happen and then it did. Or conversely, had a gut feeling that something good was going to happen and it did. Perhaps you were suddenly inspired to do something you wouldn't usually do and it turned out absolutely amazing. Perhaps you had a dream that came true. Maybe not even the whole dream, just parts of it. All of these things could be your intuition shining through without you even realizing it. Now, the second question was, how are you meant to receive from something or someone that you can't physically see when you don't believe in imagination as a possibility? Now, here I invite you to consider, if nobody taught you about oxygen, how would you know it exists? I mean, you can't necessarily see air itself with the naked eye. Even when it's windy, you still don't see the air itself. You only see and feel the effects it creates. Additionally, consider some of the greatest scientific discoveries and inventions that have occurred throughout history. These came about because someone thought of something completely out of the box that nobody had really thought of before. Process-wise, there's really nothing different between thinking outside of the box and imagination. So that leads us into the third one. How are you meant to tap into that galactic knowledge stored in your higher consciousness and DNA when you can't possibly fathom intelligent life or consciousness beyond human beings. Now, this is an interesting one because our civilization as a public whole hasn't yet encountered other intelligent life or consciousness beyond Earth, but the universe, or multiverse depending on your beliefs, is undeniably large. So at the very least, it seems like an incredible waste of space for human beings and Earth to be the only conscious inhabitants, right? And lastly, how are you meant to step into new Earth quantum consciousness, 5D and beyond, when deep within you don't actually believe in multidimensionality? There are so many things that science is yet to definitively explain. For example, black holes. Where do they lead? Why would things get sucked in with this massive gravitational pull only to end up absolutely nowhere? Remember, energy itself can't be destroyed, so where is it going? On a different note, the UK's Royal Astronomical Society published a study on an interesting patch of space referred to as the cold spot. This is a particularly cool patch of space seen in the radiation produced by the formation of our universe more than 13 billion years ago. Professor Tom Shanks of the Durham University has said that one of the more exotic theories behind the cold spot is that it was caused by a collision between our universe and another bubble universe. If further, more detailed analysis proves this to be true, the cold spot might be taken as the first evidence of the multiverse. Amazing, right? So, Soul Fam, I hope that's given you some food for thought and perhaps seeded some new perspectives to begin recalibrating your current subconscious models. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you feel called to working on your soul mastery and personal ascension with me, head over to my website, www.quantumascensiontemple.com, and book a free alignment call. I'd be honored to chat with you and discuss the most aligned path forward. From my website, you can also check out accessible monthly and annual membership options for the Quantum Ascension School of Mastery. Infinite love to you, Soul Fam, until we connect again. Mwah.